Hare Krishna. Welcome to this program of Gurudev Ki Madhur Smritiyan, fond memories of our Gurudev. I'll start with Jai Dhwani. Jai Shri Guru Gaurang Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Radha Bihari Ji ki Jai.
Jai,
Shri Gaurang Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Radha Raman Ji ki Jai.
Jai,
Nitya Leela Pravishtom Vishnu Pad Ashtotasa Srimad Bhaktivedanta Shri Narayana Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nitya Leela Pravishtom Vishnu Pad Ashtotasa Srimad Bhaktivedanta Shri Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai,
नित्य लीला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत श्री त्रिविक्रम गोस्वामी महाराज की जय।
Jai,
नित्य लीला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत श्री स्वामी जी महाराज की जय।
Jai,
नित्य लीला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् भक्ति प्रज्ञान श्री केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत श्री सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai,
कृपान गुरुवर्ग की जय। वृंदावन नवदीप धाम की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
Jai,
गुरुदेव की मधुर स्मृतियों की जय।
Jai,
पूज्यपाद भक्ति वेदांत साधु महाराज जी की जय। सभी भक्तवृंद की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। Once again, I welcome all the listeners to this program of Gurudev Ki Madhur Smritiyan, fond memories of Srila Gurudev. Today we are very fortunate to have among us Pujyapat Bhaktivedanta Sadhu Maharaj Ji. He has joined us from Poland. Uh, we will start with a kirtan. Maharaj Ji will do a kirtan, then I'll give a short introduction of Maharaj Ji, and then
yes.
he's going to remember his memories with Gurudev. So we'll start with the kirtan now. Dandavat
Uh,
Pranam Maharaj Ji.
Hare Krishna. So
Start.
let's sing Srila Gurudev's Kirtan, Guru
Okay.
Charana Kamala Bhajaman. This melody is well known as Tivaripur, his birthplace. Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman, Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman, Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman, Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman, Guru Kripa Bina Nahi Koi Sadanba, Guru Kripa Bina Nahi Koi Sadanba, Bhajavana Bhajaya Nukshan, Bhajamana Bhajaya Nukshan, Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman, Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman, Milata nahi aisa durlabha janama, Milata nahi aisa durlabha janama, Brahmata hu chaudah bhuvan, Brahmata hu chaudah bhuvan, किसी को मिलते हैं आहो भाग्य से, किसी को मिलते हैं आहो भाग्य से, हरि भक्तों के दर्शन, हरि भक्तों के दर्शन, गुरु चरण कमल भजमन, Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman, Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman, Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman, Krishna Kripa Ki Ananda Murati, Krishna Kripa Ki Ananda Murati, Dinajana Karuna Nidan, Dinajana Karuna Nidan, Bhakti Bhava Prema Tina Prakashatam, Bhakti Bhava Prema Tina Prakashata, Shri Guru Pati Tapavan, Shri Guru Pati Tapavan, Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman, Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman, श्रुति स्मृति और पुराण नाम ही, श्रुति स्मृति और पुराण नाम ही, किनो स्पश्यत प्रमाण, किनो स्पश्यत प्रमाण, तन मन जीवन गुरुपदे अर्पण, तन मन जीवन गुरुपदे अर्पण, श्री हरि नाम रतान, श्री हरि नाम रतान, गुरु चरण कमल भज मन, 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 गुरु कृपा बिना नहीं कोई साधना बल, गुरु कृपा बिना नहीं होई साधना बल, भज मन भजय अनुक्षान, भज मन भजय अनुक्षान, गुरु चरण कमल भज मन, गुरु चरण कमल भज मन, गुरु चरण कमल भज मन, गुरु चरण कमल भज मन। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। बोला हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। बोलो हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरि बो निताय गौर हरि बो, निताय गौर हरि बो, हरि बो निताय गौर हरि बो, निताय गौर हरि बो, हरि बो निताय गौर हरि बो, निताय गौर हरि बो, हरि बो निताय गौर हरि बो, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बो। जय श्रील गुरुदेव नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय, श्री रूपानुग गुरुदेव गुरु वर्ग की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, समक्त गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।
Hare Hare. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. That was such beautiful melody. Very nice kirtan. Narayana Gurudev. Okay. So small introduction about Maharaj. Maharaj was born in Lithuania, Eastern Europe, and he first met devotees in 1989. And he Sorry, I was muted. I'm sorry. So, small introduction about Pujapad Bhaktivedanta Sadhu Maharaji. Maharaji was born in Lithuania, Eastern Europe, and he met devotees for the first time in 1989. And in 1999, he met our Srila Gurudev in Vrindavan, and he got his Harinam from him in 1999. And Gurudev gave him the name Parjanya Das in 99. Thereafter, in 2000, he got his Diksha from Srila Gurudev on his first visit to Russia. And Maharaji Gurudev immediately ordered him to preach in his country and print books in Lithuanian language and Russian language. And in Kartik 2002, he got his saffron cloth from Gurudev. And in 2009, on auspicious day of Gaur Purnima, he got a sannyas from our Gurudev. He stayed in Rup Sanatan Mutt in 2002 and 3. Then he stayed in Gaur Govind Mutt in Birmingham 2004. And he's been organizing Gurudev's tours and also tours of various sannyasis. Sorry, I don't know how I got me. He's been organizing tours of Gurudev and other sannyasis in Russia, and also he's been translating books as ordered by Srila Gurudev in Lithuanian language and also in Russian language. And he's still he's preaching in his country and in Russia, and also printing a lot many books. And he's doing prachar as ordered by Srila Gurudev. So we are very fortunate today to have him with us, and we are going to hear about his sweet memories and sweet pastimes with Srila Gurudev, how Gurudev gave him his mercy and made his life successful. Dandavat Maharaji.
Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayane Tinamine Shri Krishna Lilakatane Sudaksham Audarya Madhurya Gunaishcha Yuktam Paramvarenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvam Shirasa Namami Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Shri Krishna Padabja Dritaiga Hridi Chaitanya Lilamrita Sarasaram Narayanam Tvam Satatam Prapadim Devam Narayanam Vande Vrindavana Nivasinam Anantaguna Bhushita Kotivatsalya Rupinam Gaura Kripa Vigrahaya Gaurangasya Priyatmane Tam Rupam Satatam Vande Madjivanasya Jivanam Virahena Sadaya Chetava Pada Padmeshame Ashraya Charane Dehi Gurudevi Kripamayam Namaste Gurudevaya Sarva Siddhi Pradayane Sarva Mangala Rupaya Sarvananda Vidayane Namasreshtam Manumapi Sachiputramatra Swarupam Rupam Tasyagrajam Rupurim Madhurim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivara Mahoradhika Madhavasam Praptayasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurum Tam Natosmi Tavaivasmi Najivami Tvayavina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tvam Nayamam Charanantike Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, my unlimited dandavat pranams to the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev, Paramaraditam Gurupad Padma, Nitilila Pravishtam Vishnupad, Astotra Sata Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, and all the Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, my exalted Shiksha Gurus, all dear devotees, Srila Gurudev Sangha, who have gathered today in online at Zoom, and also those who are watching us in recording online. So I'm very glad and very happy and fortunate. Thank you very much for inviting me. for glorification of Srila Gurudev. There's a huge event this year, Centennial, 100th anniversary of Srila Gurudev's arrival in this planet for our eternal benefit. So, Srila Gurudeva was teaching us how rare it is to meet Sri Guru. Brahmande Brahmiti Kona Bhagavana Jiva Guru Krishna Prasada Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. The forgetful living entities, spirit souls in material bodies, are traveling throughout the material universes, life after life, aimlessly. And then by greatest great fortune, they can meet Sri Guru. So the Guru was telling that it's as rare as like a turtle floating on the surface of the ocean. And there's one type of circle, say a wooden circle or rather a life buoy. So there's one chance out of billions and billions that that turtle will get into the circle. So rather he'll get outside. Also Gurudev was telling that story of a man in a type of coliseum, type of great stadium with many doors on the sides, trying to knock and beg for some alms. And there are no people, everything is empty. There's behind one door there are people, and they have something for him. But the person is just, at that particular moment, some bad luck inspired him to space out and to miss the door. Like he looked sideways, or he was, scrubbing his head or doing something. So he didn't notice the door and didn't knock, but he had to knock. So that's how situations, like those turtles are not getting into the circle, or those spaced out beggars who are not knocking the right door. So we're traveling. And Srila Gurudev comes to us. When Krishna's mercy becomes very thick, then Sri Gurudev is coming. Srila Gurudev was also teaching us that Sakshat Dharitvena Samasta Shastra Tastata Bhavyata Eva Sadbi Kintu Prabhorya Priya Eva Tasya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, commenting his own verse, the 7th verse of Gurvashtaka, is saying, it's a great mistake to think that Sri Guru is a manifestation of Krishna. Sri Guru is an avatar of Krishna. Sri Guru is a type of representation. No, Sakshat Dhari means Krishna himself. So that's Krishna, who is not Vishaya Bhagavan. Normally Krishna enjoys in Golok Vrindavan, but he is Ashraya Bhagavan. He is also Drishya Bhagavan. He is seen. He is well seen by our eyes. We can see him, we can relate to him, we can speak to him, we can give instructions. So Krishna, who performs the role of a devotee, and Krishna, who gives instructions for the benefit of the living entities here, is Sri Guru, the all-merciful manifestation. I'm just pondering, I was thinking to give more personal, as everybody is giving, so please don't feel too bored. This is just the introductory thing, because I'm just pondering why this poor soul, this sinner, and crooked person, etc., has come to such level of Bhavaka Rasika Vaishnava. What was the reason? Well, actually, there's no reason. There's no reason, except for the causeless mercy, just causeless mercy. Nityananda Prabhu is so merciful, he's grabbing everyone here. Hey, come, you from the wine shop also, you come. Everybody. So Srila Gurudev came and he was glorifying Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, our Prabhupada, so much. He was calling him Swamiji, and he was mentioning that he came to the hippies and made hippies happy. He was ready to feed them meat and give them wine to drink, but so that only they can chant Hare Krishna, because Hare Krishna Mahamantra is everything now in this age. And Mahaprabhu, he has given that all. So Srila Gurudev gave that verse, and it's like one of our standard verses we meditate upon every day. Nama sreshtam manamapi sachiputra matra swarupam rupam tasyagrajamurupurim madurim goshtavatim radha kundam girivara mahora adikamadavasam praptoyasya pratyakripaya Shri Guruntam Natasmi. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami is praying here. I am totally obliged to Srila Gurudev for everything, anything and everything. There is nothing I personally possess, nothing. Because all those transcendental subject matters and personalities mentioned in this verse are all given by Gurudev. First of all, Nama, the holy name. Today I was listening to one recording of Srila Gurudev from the third Russian festival. It was actually in Ukraine, in Odessa, 2002. And Srila Gurudev is saying there that, well, there are two types of sound. Shabda Brahman means spiritual sound, transcendental sound, that is Krishna himself. And Shabda Samanya means ordinary sound. Like Gurudev was saying, like Srila Gurudeva Maharaj was saying, that when you say the syllables of the holy name, when you are not in the proper relationship with proper guru, when you're not in anugatya, when you're not following proper guru, then everything you pronounce will be Shabda Samanya, means ordinary sound, like syllables from Sanskrit dictionary. Hare, Krishna, Rama. So Srila Guru was making it very clear. Then you will just pronounce sounds, different kinds of sounds, like Swamiji Maharaj was saying Coca-Cola or something. Then it will not be Krishna. And without Gurudev, like I remember my life without Gurudev, chanting but no Guru, 10 years, 10. Chanting, but nothing's happening, like everything is theoretical. You can understand, okay, this is Lord Chaitanya, okay, this is Srimad Bhagavatam, okay, this is type of transcendental process, but I don't see much difference. Well, it's good, prasadam is tasty, and philosophy is cool, everything is nice. But what happened in Sadhusanga, what happened when Srila Gurudev actually gave us Nama Sreshtam, means the treasure of the holy name. Sachiputra Matra Swarupam means who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's the highest representation of Krishna consciousness. Krishna Chaitanya means Krishna consciousness. That is the highest type of Krishna consciousness, means the mood of Srimati Radhika. And Sri Guru came to give that. And Srila Gurudev was always stressing, remember Radhika, remember Vrindavan. We translators were very, very fortunate because so many initiations translated. So many initiations. Also, Srila Gurudev gave very, very special message, you know. He told me, oh, you can sometimes explain the Gayatri mantras to the Russians. So anyway, I heard so many times, but I mean, not much realization, obviously, but some samskara, some impression is there. But Srila Gurudev was always stressing during those initiations, remember always, I am in Vrindavan. So you remember yourself, I am in Vrindavan. So Srila Gurudev is giving what? Is placing us to Vrindavan. Placing us to Vrindavan. And he gave so much hope. He was saying directly also, you will become Brijabasis, you will be born in Vrindavan. So everything in our life, by the contact of Raja Rasika Vaishnava, became saturated with the moods of Vrindavan. Everything and anything. Anything. Gurudev was saying completely paradoxal things, you know, for those readers who are reading like letter to letter, analyzing everything. In his classes, you know, which were later collected as confidential secrets of Bhagavatam, he was saying that every word, every syllable, every half syllable, every letter in Srimad Bhagavatam means what? Means Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. How? Where is it written? Those, you know, analytics, logicians, and different kinds of people may be chanting Hare Krishna, they cannot understand. Why is Srila Narayana Maharaj saying that? Because he is Vrajarasika Vaishnava. And his greatness is that he is pure devotee of Radha Dasya mood, of exclusive service to Srimati Radhika Thakurani. So Radhika Madhavasam, yes, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami is saying in that verse. So everything is related to not just Krishna, but okay, we heard connect everything in your life with Krishna. But Srila Gurudeva was saying specifically Radha and Krishna. When Gurudeva was asked, when we're looking at the deities, we're having darshan of the deities, then who do we meditate upon more, Radha or Krishna? Who? Gurudev saying both, Radha, Krishna, Jugala. But then some maybe seconds of silence, but saying, but start from Srimati Radhika. Radha Krishna. So, in the same way as Srila Bhaktivedanta Janardana Goswami Maharaj, very, very dear senior devotee, actually like Shiksha Guru of the whole Gurudev Sangha and Bhaktivedanta Samiti. You know? Like he was saying, he was speaking Harinam, like on beads, slowly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then Radhe Radhe, between two mantras, saying Radhe Radhe, means Radha must be victorious. So in that same way, Gurudev was saying, like Radha, everything related to Radha. So Gurudev was shocking all the world. They were saying, how? Srila Narayana Maharaj is saying that Radhika lifted Govardhan. What is that? People could not understand. I remember myself very first Vraj Mandala Parikrama, Srila Gurudeva was still here and there, you know, between big organization and Gurudev Sangha was coming and on and off. And I remember Gurudev was saying it on the bank of Govinda Kunda, and just one leg on the other. Like Gurudev was always so much simple. And as if nothing happened, saying, well, actually, it is not Krishna who lifted Govardhan. So what? Krishna didn't lift Govardhan? Yeah, that was Radhika who lifted Govardhan. What? Yeah, because that's Krishna's leftmost part of the body, means his left pinky. So how is that? How? Why? People shocked. So many common devotees, so many devotees deprived of this Sangha are in quite a shock. What's going on? Why is that? Why is this Radhe, Radhe, Radhe all the time? So Gurudev was saying, Vrindavan is made of Srimati Radhika. Vrindavan is made of Srimati Radhika. That's Srimati Radhika's projection. That's Srimati Radhika's playground. That's Srimati Radhika's Lila Stali. That's Srimati Radhika's everything. There is not a speck of dust in Vrindavan which would not be so dear to Srimati Radhika. Yeah. So that's why Gurudev was leading us through the places of Vrajamandala Parikrama, and he was making us remember that, you know. He was certainly telling that story, how Krishna gave blessing to Narada Muni, that Narada asked, oh, you please bless those who are just visiting your holy places, your Vrindavan, so that by touching the dust, they can achieve prem. So one of my first, you know, those first impressions are the strongest always. So 1999, Parikrama, Vrajamandala Parikrama. And the last bus day, we went to big Charan Pahari, Bari Charan Pahari. And those great stones where so many hoof prints of so many different animals, and certainly footprints of Shishirada and Krishna and the gopis and the cowherd boys, and the flute prints and the crown prints and so many things. So some new devotees were, you know, having some tourist questions in their minds, like, oh, is it original? But Gurudev was saying, in Harikatha, on the bank of that, what's that, Kshir Sagar, I think, that lake is called. So he was saying that he was speaking that story. He was remembering that story, how Krishna gave blessing to Narada Muni. And he looked at all of us like this. There were maybe a couple hundred people. And he said, don't have doubts that definitely by touching this dust, you will achieve prema. All of you, very, very soon, will achieve prema. And again, all of you, very, very soon, will achieve prema. I'm in shock. I'm sitting like young devotee. I was like, maybe it was 2 or 3 days before my Harinam initiation. And I was, what? What's going on? Prema. Yes, it's all about prema, because Shraddha is the smallest particle of prema. Gurudev was stressing that. So, Nama Sreshtam Manamapisa Chiputram Atra Swarupam Rupam Tasyagrajam Ruparim Madhurim Goshtvadim. Yes, Rupa. The teachings of Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Gurudev was always inviting all great devotees, pandits, learned persons to that conference of Srila Rupa Goswami in Vrindavan, in Rup Sanatan. Later it was Gopinath Bhavan. And certainly he was taking us to the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami. So what Srila Gurudev did, he took all the Vaishnava world, like disciples of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, who had not, already were in separation with their gurus at that time. And anyway, general public, general devotees, and took them to the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami, and took them to the presence of Srila Rupa Goswami's idea, presence of his conception. He taught us what Rupa Nuga is. So deep, so many-faceted. It's just unimaginably deep ocean of ras, what Srila Rupa Goswami is feeling, what all Rupa Nuga Sampradaya is feeling. That's what Srila Gurudev is relishing in his heart. So he gave that. Sometimes devotees ask us in preaching, how Guru gives all that? Well, many things we cannot understand, but we can feel. We can feel. Talking about the holy name and chanting and speaking Harikatha. I remember the reaction of those devotees in the first 1 or 2 Russian festivals, 2000, 2001, in Moscow area, in that most famous pioneer camp where it took place. Maybe to the first festival, maybe about 150 or 200 devotees came. It was 2000, first Gurudev's visit. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami about 3 types of devotees in terms of the holy name and the level of chanting of the holy name. He's saying those Kanishtajan, those... Oh no, that was Mahaprabhu's words to residents of Kulinagram, I'm sorry, Kulinagram. He was saying, they're chanting sometimes, those beginning devotees. Now those devotees who are chanting always, they are madhyams, they are intermediate. And those in whose presence everybody experiences the taste for chanting and desire for chanting, that is the highest caliber, highest category of devotees. So those are Uttama. So then in Moscow, 2000, all the hall was crying. Everybody was crying like babies. Everybody was affected because they could see, so many devotees came from ISKCON, they could see this is our Prabhupada. They could see. And also, something within the soul. So you don't understand so many things, but you have impression given by Sri Guru. And that impression is actually seed of prema in the form of Shraddha and how it is developing from Shraddha to prema. Ado Shraddha tata sadhu sangha tata bhajana kriya nata nivriti syata dunishta ruchistata, etc. to bhavas, asaktis bhavas, and then prema. So when you feel something in your heart and that is growing, it's very good. But sometimes some tendency of sahajism can come. And Srila Gurudeva was cutting that on the root. He was saying, don't try to jump to the top of the tree. Yes, you have Shraddha, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have prema already formed, already manifested. You have seed of prema, but seed of prema and the prema in full still makes a big difference. That's why you have to perform proper sadhana. You have to climb on the branches, branch after branch. You have to climb. You have to stand, you have to hold, you have to make next step gradually, systematically. So Gurudev was saying, practice Bhakti Jog. I remember Russian Darshan 2007, very famous against Sahajas, you can see online nowadays. He was saying, don't try to follow them because they will make you jump to the top of the tree. But the real process, the proper process is you have to climb gradually, 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 gradually. Gurudev was saying also, after me, so much Sahaja will come. So much. We can see now, practical experience. But that is not the process. Gurudev was stressing the two disciples of Babaji Maharaj, Gopal Guru Baba, at the end of Jayavadharma, when he was giving them Rasa Siddhanta, Vijay Kumar and Brajanath. So he told Vijay, you are Sakhi, and you told Brajanath, you are Saka, no need for you to listen to some advanced things about Madhurya. So all those things, Srila Gurudev explained. What is Sahaja, what is proper process. So when the time comes, Gurudev was stressing, then Sri Guru will tell you who you are. And Sri Guru will tell you what your mood should be. Srila Gurudev will tell you what type of mood you have to be practicing, you have to be established in, and you have to be practicing. So then, Radha Kundam Girivara Mahoradika Madhavasam. Certainly Srila Gurudev gave that. He gave the banks of Radha Kund, he gave Giriraj Govardhan, he gave Vrindavan Dham, Seva Kunj, he gave everything. So that is installed in our hearts, that is always in our heart. So suddenly there will be problems. And Srila Gurudev was telling another story about the problems. In that same Odessa 2002, he told a story about a deer. There was a deer in the forest, in the field, very, very nice young deer, herding there, eating fresh, juicy grass. But then all of a sudden, hunter came. Hunter came with a few very strong dogs. So the hunter was staying on one side and he put the dogs across. And the river was, or some versions of the story, the net. He put the net on the other side. And he started to surround the poor deer, but the deer was not aware. He was still eating grass and couldn't notice anything. But then the hunter was very qualified, started to aim and was ready to shoot. And then the deer realized what great, great danger he was in. And then the forest fire started on the last side, on the fourth side. So hunter, the hunt dogs, the net, and the forest fire. So he was totally surrounded. But Gurudev saying, the deer just closed his eyes. Maybe that was a companion, a relative of that Bharata Maharaj who became a deer. Anyway, he had got consciousness. So he started to pray. He closed his eyes and he started to pray. And then all of a sudden, great, great hailstorm came with great stones falling from the sky. So then the hunter was totally misorientated. He couldn't hold his gun properly, and then shot his dogs instead of, so lost direction, and he shot his 4 very strong and qualified hound dogs instead of the deer. So then they fell dead, and then the great wind removed the net, and the great rain extinguished the forest fire. So, and the hunter ran away in fear. So all the 4 sides were free. So Srila Gurudeva is saying, no problems. There are no problems. Just do your bhajan. Your servant in 2001, second Russian festival in Moscow, that same pioneer camp, came to Gurudev after class when Gurudev was ready to enter his room. Gurudev, I have a problem. No problem. Gurudev just cut it. No problem. There's no problem. So that's great impression for whole lives. Now we're having so many problems in the world. Such a situation, especially Ajay Prabhu knows in Delhi what's it like, what it's like. But we need to do. We need to do what? As Srila Bhakti Rakshakshidhar Maharaj in one letter, he wrote, continue cultivating our Krishna conceptions. That's what we need to do. So Gurudev taught us practically. When Gurudev came to Russia for the fourth time, yes, 2004, Volgograd, there was a great problem on the border, because those guys who were responsible for visa and things, and they organized it improperly. So that was a business visa. And they saw devotees, not businessmen, in Moscow. Still, they had to take another flight to Volgograd, but the border control was in Moscow. So those guys, they were so rough. They didn't even let Gurudev sit down or something. I don't know the particularities, but Gurudev had to wait with those policemen, like for, I'm afraid to say how long, let me not speculate, but considerably long time. And finally one devotee came with a letter, confirming that, okay, this is the proper group and they have to proceed. So it took maybe minimum 1 hour, But actually Gurudev was in perfect Krishna consciousness. He was not affected by anything. Then Gurudev came to the festival site. Oh, that Volgograd, oh yes. Those Russian festivals take very, very special place in my heart. So I'm already, how to say, in that mode of personal remembrances. So we were waiting in Volgograd in that camp. There was another camp, maybe about 50 kilometers from the city, on the bank of a river. Very nice place. But it was already getting dark. It was like maybe 7-ish, 8 o'clock in the morning, in the evening. And the kirtan was so wild. We were walking up and down the valley because Gurudev's group of cars had to arrive. And we were just waiting at the gate and walking up and down with a huge kirtan. Those kirtans, oh my God. Such a mad kirtan, really. And okay, one car is arriving. We were rushing to the car like mad people. Not Gurudev's car, different. Okay, wait again. And then we met Gurudev, and that was 2004 was the year when there was Purushottam. Purushottam was in August, and that's why Gurudev was never shaving at Purushottam, and Purushottam falls at Chaturmasya time. So Gurudev and all entourage and all of us, some of us were 3 months beards, like almost 2.5 months beards, and Gurudev was long beard. He and all the entourage finally arrived, and that was just, oh my God, those moments of meeting after long separation are nothing but projection of the same principle. Gurudev was teaching us separation. Our bhajan is viraha bhajan, vipralamba bhajan. That's what we're trying to practice these days. In Gurudev's physical absence, Gurudev is suddenly present in every cell of our bodies. That's what he was saying. I'm closer to you than the air you breathe. I'm present in all of your cells of your body, closer than the air. It's everywhere. Gurudev was saying very clearly, as same way as Krishna is all-pervading, in the same way Guru is all-pervading. And it cannot be theoretical, no. For none of the devotees of such Guru, it's theoretical. It's always very practical. You can feel Gurudev's presence. That is your bhajan. What is viraha? Vishesha, what's that? Vishesha rupa rahasya. In the special meeting. But when the actual meeting takes place, that's the highest jubilation. So then Srimati Radhika's group is so happy. Radha Paksha Visheshana, Radha Paksha Sheshana, Krishna Paksha Virohita, Atyulasa Harshananda Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Then Srila Gurudev is so happy. Atyulasa Harshananda. He's so much happy and laughing. So we are in the same way so happy when we're meeting Srila Gurudev. That belongs on bhajan, that comes to you in your deep bhajan, but when we're waiting for Srila Gurudev like this in the airport or in the camp where he's supposed to come, that's very, very difficult to speak actually. Words are so weak to express that happiness of meeting. So then some madness started with surrounding Gurudev, and Gurudev's team members were just, okay, give way, give way. And Gurudev was coming through and coming to his quarters. And it was quite late, actually. I think that was after 9 o'clock Gurudev arrived. And I think still Gurudev had a tradition. At any time as he arrives, goes to his room, puts his luggage, goes to the bathroom, then he goes to the stage, as you remember. Maybe for 5 minutes, he speaks, introductory speech, gather everyone. And so that happened also, I think. But that happened the following morning, because it was still late. And I remember in that juvenile optimism, in that, how to say, flow of feeling, we were so eager to touch Gurudev, to do everything. And those meetings and goodbyes, Gurudev was just holding his hand like this, out of the car window, and everybody, gents, ladies, children, babushkas, no problem, anyone. Anyone can touch you, anyone. Gurudev was not seeing difference, such level of Paramahamsa. Generally, there's common etiquette, sannyasi cannot touch this, sannyasi cannot do this, sannyasi cannot do that. Gurudev was, giving beads for ladies like this, giving garlands to ladies. Ladies were allowed to give garlands to Gurudev and touch his, everything was allowed at the end. But that just proves how absorbed Srila Gurudev is, how he's in different reality. One devotee from the West, I think, from London, maybe, lady, was quite disturbed one time. Oh, Gurudev, every time you come, you ask me what my name is. Why is that? Like, Guru is supposed to be all-known, all-knowing, so all the names and, faces, and he has to know, isn't it? We were thinking like that also. And Gurudev looked at her and said, sometimes I forget my own name. Sometimes, because so much absorbed in different kind of reality. So that happiness of meeting and happiness of meeting in separation is with us. And so Srila Gurudeva was saying also, like in every festival, He was giving mantra. He was giving like a mantra. Be strong, don't be weak. You should be like me. He was telling devotees directly like this. You should be like me. I remember the first darshan we had, Lithuanian group, 7 people. We came from Lithuania to Moscow, 2000, and we had a darshan with Gurudev. And Gurudev was there. That was morning, later morning, maybe after 9. All of us went in. Gurudev was sitting without glasses, leg on leg, cross-legged like this, with bead bag. If you notice on so many photos, mostly Gurudev with bead bag. There are definitely more photos when he's with bead bag than he's without, if you statistically count. But that morning Gurudev was with no glasses. And when you remember the figure of Gurudev, then when I remember, then that verse always comes to my mind from Archana Padati of Sri Dhyan Chandra. Pratashrimannava dvipe dvinetram dvibhujam gurum varabhaya pradam shantam smaretan nama purvakam. I remember Sri Guru in Navadvip Dham having 2 arms and 2 eyes, 2 eyes and 2 arms, dvinetram dvibhujam. Varabhaya, having no fear and teaching us to be fearless. Abhaya charanaravinda. Smaretan nama purvakam. Then I remember his name. So we saw that Gurudev. We saw that form of Gurudev. And the first moment when we entered the room, like that transcendental, loving figure of Gurudev, you can feel, you can remember. So then Gurudev sat us down, and he knew that there are so many senior devotees in the group. Like out of 7, I think maybe 5 were senior generation, who saw things, many things, positive, negative, everything. Krishna consciousness in full spectrum. So he was telling specially, there was a long darshan, I think, 20 minutes minimum. And Gurudev spent so much time, personal attention to practically all of us. So I remember why I remembered that darshan, because he told one of the devotees who was really one of the first in Lithuania, and he did a lot, and especially in underground circumstances, like distributing magazines, books, self-made, in total persecution, still was Soviet Union circumstances. So Srila Gurudev knew it. So we could feel that in that darshan, we could feel of 2000 in Moscow, everyone could feel that Gurudev knows everything, everything. There's not possible to hide anything from Gurudev. Same way as Krishna is all-pervading, then Gurudev is all-pervading, so he could see, he could feel every heart. And most significantly and most amazingly, that he knows you in the absolute sense. We don't know ourselves. Who I am, do I know? Well, I have some idea. Okay, now I can say I'm type of trying to become devotee of Krishna. Okay, that's my self estimation. That's my opinion about myself. Oh, I have to do better, I have to practice Sharanagati, like this. And before that, like Swami Prabhupada was saying, I'm Mr. John, I have business, I have this, that. But Srila Gurudev sees directly, like, who you are, what are you doing here, and what you have to do in order to go from here to there. That's the path of sadhana. Gurudev knows everything. So Gurudev told that devotee, one of the senior most, you have to be like me. Be like me. What is that? That's another mantra Gurudev was giving. Be like me, remember Vrindavan, be in Vrindavan. Because Gurudev was always in Vrindavan. Pratashriman Navadvipe Dvinetram Dvibhujam Guru. That one. So he told that devotee, be in Vrindavan, be like me and be in Vrindavan. So he spent so much personal attention to another devotee lady, younger generation, but so much because he was answering her prayers. He was answering her prayers. He could see everything. Another story about another lady, that was one British lady, I was told when I came. She was one of the first book distributors off the book table, book stall. They were coming out in Birmingham, putting out book tables, and then having some relationship with people and writing their address, emails, etc., inviting them for programs like this. So she was one of the first. But she was very shy by nature. Although she was coming out, she was very shy, and it was not easy for her to start speaking to Gurudev herself. She was always like, Gurudev is surrounded by so many devotees who are much braver, you know. So she was always at the back. But every morning she was singing to Gurudev in her room for maybe 2 hours, like this nice bhajan program every morning she was singing. Then Gurudev approached her himself. After class, when Gurudev was coming out, you know, when he was coming out every time and coming through the crowd of devotees. How are you? This. So all of a sudden he approached her and said, I can hear you every morning as you sing for me. That was it. So that's how Gurudev knows us. Then very first darshan, that was not Moscow darshan 2000, was not the very first. Very first I received after initiation, Harinam initiation in Vrindavan Rup Sanatan Gaudiya Mat. There's Gurudev's room on the left of the Seva Kunj altar. And I received Harinam, and well, first of all, after Harinam, what happened, I can tell you. Maybe you will say the same, because you could feel how your name chants, how your name sounds, what you feel about the name after Harinam initiation. That was like sky on earth. What I could feel after Harinam initiation was, what? I could never think that thing works like this. That was just completely amazing difference, unimaginably different situation after you receive Harinam. So then I knew, okay, I have to come to Gurudev and ask, how can I serve you? So that's why I went. But I was having some personal ideas. I was having some personal program because I was thinking that, oh, I'm a musician, I have to play, I have to do, I have to do through that and that and that. But Gurudev obviously had some different view about this soul. And I came, and I was thinking that, oh, Gurudev will give me something special, because I'm special, aren't I? That's why Gurudev had to give me according to what I have and I think. So, so many more cases, you know, and devotees thought, and Gurudev said something else, and then they were shocked. But Gurudev sees us better than us. That's the practical illustration, that we think something about ourselves in terms of body, mind, or even soul, or position as a devotee. But Gurudev sees what we really are, and we have to do as jivas, as the souls, jivatmas. So Gurudev looking at me said, you should go and preach and translate my books into your language. And I just, as we say in Russian, my mitten, you know, mitten, when it's cold, my mitten just fell off like this. Just fell off. I said, what? And the mind, the stupid mind, is thinking, oh, Gurudev is giving such a standard instruction for me, very special, very special. I'm practically like a demigod, you know. And he gives this ordinary instruction, like for common bhakta. What's this? I was shocked. What's this? And Gurudev's really, you should go and preach and translate my books into your language. And when my mitten fell off, then Gurudev said, yes. And that was it. As British people say, sorted. I was sorted. I was sorted. Like, okay, program prescribed. Medicine prescribed. Now you have to take, because patient, if you say a patient, okay, there's the medicine. You have to take, isn't it? Guru is a doctor. And my ambitions just crashed, like, say, what? I say, yes. And then, okay, then I got that portion. Then I realized that, okay, I started printing books year after year. Then 2003. Oh, first book, 2002. Gurudev came to Odessa. And after introductory speeches, usually Gurudev came and, there was morning, he spoke maybe 5-7 minutes, then coming out, I'm giving Gurudev that first book. That first Lithuanian, Lithuanian is not my first language. My first language is Russian, but I was born in Lithuania. So anyway, Lithuanian is like English for me. But anyway, I speak good, but, still need some help in terms of language. So I gave Gurudev that book, and the Lithuanians were criticizing for that book like anything, because it was really funny. It was really funny. Even to the point, you all now crack with laughter if I tell you, even to the point that the main verse, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru, there are two verses in the Gita who start in the same way. But the last one, I think in chapter 9, it has different ending, different two lines. But 1865 has the proper ending. So I was in such a cosmic state while doing the book. It was very, very extreme circumstances. I was making that book. Anyway, Gurudev, then later somebody told me, hey, the shloka is different. Okay, then we had to stick and put on top the proper ending of the verse. But then Gurudev is accepting that book, and well, there must be some prehistory, to that point. We'll just return to that point. 2002, I wrote Gurudev first email, because in that darshan of 2000 in Moscow, Gurudev said, oh, you gather regularly and discuss all the established truths, it's all the tattvas, Guru tattva, Gaura tattva, Bhakti tattva, Bhava tattva, Prema tattva, Jiva tattva, etc. And you write me emails. There was no Facebook at the time. Write me emails how you're doing. So that was the program. I was writing Gurudev emails. But 2002, I think I wrote the first email when the book was printed, Essence of Bhagavad Gita, Lithuanian. Then I wrote Gurudev first email, then the following day, answer came. And the first question I asked was, what is your plan for the soul? What do you want me to do? What is the plan for the soul? Gurudev answered, I want you to become pure devotee and my representative really. Then later, when I was staying Rup Sanatan 2002-03, Gurudev wrote another answer. I want you to learn all Tattva and Siddhanta and preach like all my sannyasis do. So that's prehistory. Then Odessa 2002, I gave Gurudev the book. Then Gurudev receiving the book. And then I had some hair, like this. Then I'm feeling my hair is within Gurudev's hand. He's grabbing me by the hair like this. All of a sudden. Oh, first Gurudev asked, are you married? Don't marry. I will give you saffron, don't worry. Like this. Gurudev, just save me like this. I will give you saffron, don't worry. Then I'm shocked, me! Then Gurudev grabbing me by the hair, yes, you! Now, you can you do now? I'm just, Gurudev, I don't think, maybe, okay, Vrindavan, you coming Vrindavan? Vrindavan. Then in Vrindavan 2002, we were first without Gurudev because Gurudev had a heart trouble. When Srila Trivikram Maharaj was in hospital, very, very sick, then Gurudev had heart attack. Then Srila Trivikram Maharaj left during Kartik. But they were staying side by side in two hospitals side by side. Gurudev was so much broken-hearted he could not go and see his dear god brother. So anyway, that's why we were out of Gurudev's association for half Kartik. Then Gurudev came back from Delhi, already cured, was quite weak. Doctors were not allowing him to walk much. Anyway, he walked a little bit around Govardhan, just a little bit. But that was quite madness, you know, people were just rushing into Gurudev's house. They just started building Govardhan temple then. So we were visiting Gurudev in a house nearby. That was quite mad, the crowds were just rushing in. But Gurudev was still very weak, he was not allowed to see him. But anyway, there was some type of darshan and I asked Gurudev, whatever you told me, I'm ready. Gurudev, very good. Then that year Gurudev gave me saffron. And then, okay, 2003, another book printed. That book with Gurudev's relationship with Prabhupada Swami Maharaj. So, anyway, I'm shy, you know, talking about what I did, but I have to because that's part of relationship. So I have to mention the work on the book was very, very heavy. I was working on it for 5 months. I was very unexperienced. I didn't have any team. I didn't have any knowledge about book production. I was in between the PageMaker and Quark, one from Windows, one from Mac. So those two programs didn't meet properly, you know. I had to start the work again from halfway. Anyway, I brought the book to Gurudev, I think just before Kartik, 2003. And it was Mathura. Then I gave Gurudev the book, and Gurudev acted in the same way as he was doing every time. So very good, and gave to Madhava Maharaj the book, okay. And I was thinking, and that's it? I worked like anything for 5 months. And Gurudev said, very good, and bye-bye. I was thinking, what is that? And I was, you know, rascal mind is thinking, oh, maybe Gurudev forgot me, maybe Gurudev doesn't understand with some type of language, some unknown country, Lithuania, what is that? Okay, I have some more books, obviously. So with another book, I'm coming to Srila Gurudev's door. And Gurudev is returning with Madhava Maharaj, I think. And standing by the door with the book, and then giving Gurudev the book, and Gurudev again, very good. Giving to Madhava Maharaj. Then I'm saying, Gurudev, did you like the book? Then Gurudev, you should come. So Gurudev invited me to the room, that famous room in Mathura when Swami B.V. Narayana, golden letters. So I think Gurudev was alone, or Vrajanath Prabhu was there. Yes, Gurudev and Vrajanath. And I'm standing like a fool. Gurudev doesn't pay attention. He's not paying attention for like maybe 2-3 minutes. Gurudev is looking through some papers, looking for something. and I'm standing like a fool, you know. Gurudev is not neglecting. You know how pure Guru is beating your false ego. Those classical stories. So many devotees have their personal ones. So Gurudev waiting. No, Gurudev just neglecting. And I'm standing like a fool. So Gurudev is not noticing me. What's going on here? I'm asking about the book, if Gurudev liked it or not. And Gurudev is, you know, doing some other things. How is that? Gurudev looking at me, so, who are you? Parjanya Das, my name was. So, that year he said, I don't want you to be weak. I don't want you to forget me. I want you to always remember me, otherwise you will go to hell. That was it. End of the darshan. That was it. No questions, no answers, no nothing. And Gurudev was doing his thing. Then Brajana told me we have to go. So we went. That was it, 2003. Then 2004. Darshan in the same place, at the same time, before Kartik. Very similar. Oh, and Gurudev asking, 2003, you know. He's asking, who is he? He's Parjanya from Russia. Oh, I was thinking he's Janardhan. You know Janardhan from Sagar Maharaj from Venezuela. Because at that time he got lost. Nobody knew what. Anyway, Hare Krishna, that's his thing. But like Gurudev compared me. So obviously Janardhan is blackish. Well, is he Janardhan? No, he's Parjanya from Russia. Pinning down. Did you like my book, Gurudev? I did the book for you. Did you like my book? Who are you? Are you that guy? Oh, then like this. Then 2004. 2004, Gurudev usually was making a meeting for sannyasis, brahmacharis before parikrama started, Vrajamandala, to discuss the procedures, to appoint the duties, like this, preparatory meeting. So everybody was supposed to come to Gurudev's room, and Gurudev's room is open, but somehow, you know, I rushed there first. And Kishore Prabhu, you know, sweet memories of him, Kishore Krishna. He was sitting there, and that's it. Kishore, myself, and Gurudev, I think that maybe Rajanath or Madhava Maharaj, someone there. Then Gurudev is looking at me. That was like continuation of the darshan of the previous year, 2004. Gurudev looking at me and said, who are you? I said, Parjanya Das. So, you're free from all your anarthas? Don't cheat me. You have to be, what word? Frank. That was it. And he's asking, again, I think Brajanath Prabhu it was, who is he? Is he Janardhan? Same text after 1 year, you know how Gurudev knows everything and how he knows to whom he has to be compared. Same text over 1 year. Then Kishore is laughing, like, and he say, ha ha, Gurudev, again he's Janardhan. Well, that's understood, you know, I'm different color, I'm different size, I'm different everything. Janardhan. I was thinking he's Janardhan. But very, very instructing. Srila Gurudeva was teaching us love. When Gurudev came to Odessa 2002, then he asked devotees, the organizers, what subject I have to speak about? Then, so many devotees were hearing quite high topics previously. So the organizer said, oh, maybe Gurudev, you can start from something basic. So Gurudev gave that famous class, what's that called? Love and Affection, it's called. Love and Affection. God is love and love is God, so that was in Odessa that year. So Gurudev was stressing love. What is love? Love is prema. So that's basically what everybody's looking for, and George Harrison wrote in the introduction of Krishna book, All You Need Is Love. So Gurudev just gave that. So we could massively see the difference. So many devotees everywhere, that when Harinam is given with love, means with prema, then the chanting also receives that energy of love, and when you chant, then if you're sincere, provided you're sincere, then you're closer and closer to prema, because the mercy is given. Srila Gurudeva was asked so many times, oh Gurudev, please give mercy, but he was saying the mercy has been given. The mercy has been given. All mercy has been given. The mercy is pouring. Nityananda Prabhu is just overflowing everyone with mercy, but depends on how you practice and how you act upon the mercy. So now it's your turn as a disciple. You have to act. So then, closer, the more sincerely you practice, the closer to prema you are. So then, Srila Gurudev, yes, he was teaching that. He was teaching us mamata, possessiveness. Oh, at the end of that 2000 Moscow darshan, Gurudev could see the situation like anything. Because we had to go through as a Sangha, Lithuanian Sangha in the beginning, we had to go through that path towards love and affection, because there were, anyway, some tensions, some misunderstandings, and some forceful attitude. But Gurudev said in the very first darshan at the end, so you meet regularly, okay, discuss all the tattvas, you write me emails, but you have to do through love and affection. You said, not by force, but by love and affection. So that force, Gurudev in Harmony says about everything, about what force is, how you have tendency to dominate over others and neglect others, don't hear others and not to hear others, all those things. But what love and affection is, it's as organic as water, as the water of the ocean of love. So, ocean of nectar. So the place where you feel at home, that is love and affection. And when you were with Gurudev, you were always feeling at home. That very, very amazing feeling. Everybody who knew Gurudev will agree. So you were feeling at home. As Gurudev was starting his darshans, everything very spontaneous. As Gurudev was saying that Brij Bas is always spontaneous. So he was sitting on a simple chair, cross-legged, after his darshan, after his rest, maybe 4:30, in Varshana when we were standing, and just sitting on a chair, and anybody could come and sit and ask. But that was the beginning of the darshan. And as you were close to Gurudev, you were feeling that home feeling. And Gurudev was saying family. Devotees were telling me when Gurudev came to Birmingham one of the years, beginning of the 2000s, then the devotees, they brought some new person and they were intending to introduce. But amazingly, what Gurudev said first, oh Gurudev, this isn't like we brought one new person we want to introduce. And Gurudev saying, is he family? Ms. Gurudev was checking if the spirit of the family, if the mood of the family was properly, introduced. Because what Gurudev was teaching us as a Sangha to introduce that spirit of love and affection of that family spirit. So Gurudev was stressing in that way that the first initial work has to be done by us, because we have to introduce those people into the world of love and affection, because people are suffering, they're coming from completely different, opposite world. So that's what Gurudev brought. Then there were maybe 4 years of break. Gurudev was not coming to the post-Soviet space. 2008 in 2008 there was an amazing festival in Odessa, which is quite well remembered by devotees. Gurudev's team said that it was one of the best in his international preaching. Devotees really made quite an endeavor. It was on the shore of the Black Sea, and although the weather was quite storming, sometimes there was torrential rain, you know, everything was maybe half a meter of water everywhere. Anyway, we were sitting and the water was pouring from the hangar, from the ceiling. Gurudev was very, very happy, and he was walking every morning there. But very, very special message I received from Srila Gurudev then, because that was the beginning of Sannyas Lila. Well, that was desire of Gurudev, you know, to make this unworthy person a sannyasi. But 2008 everything was started because I was quite unclear, because the members of the Sangha were dragging me, come on, take sannyas, continue. I was not really sure, you know, what I'm supposed to do, what's the procedure, how should I ask Gurudev and not ask Gurudev. But Gurudev was teaching us. He was saying, oh, you can ask me questions in the evening, and in the morning you will receive answers. So that's what I exactly did. I asked Gurudev question in the evening. Gurudev, what to do, Gurudev, how to. So then, anyway, I have to tell some personal things, but I have to tell. Then we were coming to Gurudev's compound every morning for darshan. Gurudev was staying in a different building in Odessa then. And that morning I received an amazing darshan. Gurudev was sitting in his little room. There were like 2 rooms and 1 kitchen in that compound Gurudev was staying. And Gurudev's little room was his bhajan kutir. And I noticed Gurudev was chanting. He was chanting loud. And I offered obeisances. And very difficult to tell, especially online, what I was feeling. But I can say only that, well, I was thinking that, oh, so many years, so many lifetimes I was coming to you. Now finally it happened. Then I, you know, extended my body like this and touched Gurudev's big toe with my forehead like this. So I broke Gurudev's meditation. He noticed me lying on the floor, looked. Then we went with Gurudev on the morning walk. That morning it wasn't raining, the weather was getting better. So Gurudev walked bravely to the ocean bank, to the seashore, and there was a concrete path along the shore like this. And Gurudev was so peculiar, you know, when he was walking, he was standing, he was stopping at exactly those same points, very regulated. It's very, very difficult to find a person who was more regulated than Srila Gurudev in all respects, at every step. So he was stopping at those exact places, at those exact times. Like 1, 2, 1, okay, 1 way up, stop. one way down, stop like this, and then okay, questions, answers. So the first stop was just before he was walking on that concrete road, walking along the shore, and he was looking at me. You know, there's a gate, in the gateway, Gurudev standing, looking at me. So I could think only, okay, that's the answer. Because I asked in the evening, so that's the morning, Gurudev said, do you preach in your country? Gurudev, yes, sometimes. You have to take one brahmacharya and go preach. Oh, then somehow, you know, sannyasis, they started talking to me, oh, Parjani is our translator and he's there. And then I don't remember exactly what Gurudev said, but like he marked me for sannyasa in the beginning of that morning walk. And that was it. Gurudev answered. That's personal experience, how Gurudev answers. So we know theoretically, oh, Gurudev can manifest through many devotees, Gurudev can manifest through some place in Shastra you can read, Gurudev can speak to you in a dream, Gurudev, but, well, certain personal experience we have, and certainly there were Swapna Darshans, I will not tell you, that's very personal. But many devotees can confirm Gurudev comes and he speaks. But Gurudev was teaching us also about Swapna Darshans, about darshans in a dream. When it's Brahma Muhurta, when Gurudev is speaking to you very clearly as thunder in the sky, you can hear some instructions, etc., etc. Then it's called Swapna Darshan, because so many devotees were approaching Gurudev. Oh, Gurudev, I had a dream of you. Gurudev said, I don't believe in dreams. Gurudev was just removing illusion. Very, very difficult to tell what is real and what is false. Not possible by our own endeavors. But Srila Gurudev was always teaching us personally how to make our endeavors true. And when our endeavors true, when we act upon the mercy, means when we're acting upon Srila Gurudev's sweet instructions. So today, as I look back, I remember those sweet years with Srila Gurudev. I'm praying that I can do that. I can act upon the mercy, although very, very difficult in my case. I'm quite a difficult case. I don't know why Srila Gurudev gave me so much mercy, but mercy is given, so you cannot ask why. You can't even ponder on that. You have to obey, you have to do your part of the job, and in the best way. And as a sannyasi especially, Gurudev was telling devotees, I could hear, I gave you saffron, I gave you sannyas, like this. So you have to be serious. So Gurudev showed that by his own example, how to be serious, how to be loving, how to be devoted. Everything we learned from him. Today I'm very, very happy. A very, very wonderful group gathered of my god brothers, god sisters, and devotees. So great, great thanks to Ajay Prabhu and the organizers who could give that sweet opportunity to remember Srila Gurudev. Well, there were so many devotees speaking, you know, I didn't have chance more, but now I'm very, very happy. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Now, unfortunately, the time is finished. I was feeling very relaxed. I was thinking about the time, then I was, okay, just forget about the time, just speak.
You can go on a little more, Maharaj, if you want to say something.
Final thing I want to say.
Yeah, you can take 15 more minutes, 15, 20, yeah.
One devotee told Gurudev, thank you, Srila Gurudev. Guru said, never say thank you to Sri Guru. You cannot say thank you to Sri Guru. It's not possible. In this world, when somebody feels grateful, says thank you. Well, that's normal, you know, part of etiquette, you know. But those words, they're not, you cannot pay back. You can only ask, King Koro, Kinkara means servant. Kim karo, how can I serve? You can only ask, how can I serve? That's it. You can be only an aspiring servant, that's it. You cannot repay. That's it. That's causeless mercy. So many words, many things to say, and I'm very, very happy today. Great thanks for this opportunity. Srila Gurudeva Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupada Stotra Sata Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaja Ki Jai. Yeah, also, Tarun Krishna Prabhu is with us here today. Unfortunately, his English is not so strong, but
if you want to say something, Maharaj, you can say, you can translate.
Pokash. He's very, very happy also to be with us. He did a lot for Srila Gurudev's movement here in Poland. Hare Krishna. So I'm disconnecting my good mic so that I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. That was such a lovely talk by you. You started with saying how rare it is to get Sri Guru. It is really actually very rare. And if we can understand this, that how lucky we are, out of so many people, we got Sadguru. And that too, who has promised us so much. Like after very next you said, he gave us hope. He said he'll place us in Vrindavan. You will be born in Vrindavan, because he was a Braj Rashik Vaishnav. And he was exclusive servitor to Radhas. So this level of Guru, I don't know, it is so rare, so rare. First of all, to get an ordinary Guru is so rare, but to get a Guru like this who can take us to Radharani's feet is so rare. And then how nicely you described Vrindavan, Radhika's playground and Radhika's projection. I mean, it is very nice description by you. And Maharaj promised to all of us, all of you very, very soon will achieve Prem. So it gives us so much hope that he's telling all of us that all of us will very, very soon achieve Prem. And you said you don't understand everything, but you have impression and you can feel it in the heart. That's what it is. You cannot describe how it was, and you cannot be taught by brain. The relationship between Guru and disciple, you cannot analyze by your mind, because beyond mind, it's beyond your mind and physical world. So it can only be felt through your soul, as you described very rightly. You will get the impression. And then Gurudev talked about problems. Yes, so many times people went with problems with him, and he will cut there itself, like you said. Just do your bhajan, continue cultivating Krishna consciousness, no problem. If we think about problems, then they'll keep becoming big. But if you think about bhajan, then bhajan will keep becoming big. And problems will go, they will vanish on their own. That's what Gurudev used to say. And then you described how you met him after moments of long separation. Viraha and Vipralam bhajan, what we are doing. Yes, it was always so nice to meet him, and everybody was so eager. I've had this experience many times because I used to go to the Delhi airport all the time to receive him when he used to come back from foreign tours. And we used to wait for hours, and then I used to go right to the airplane door. So I know that feeling, what you're saying, that after when you're not seen him for a long time and you're waiting to see him, how nice you feel, how good, how jubilant you are to see him. And then he said, be like me, be in Vrindavan. And then you described the British lady's Leela, so nice. She was singing every day, but she was staying behind. And then Gurudev came on its own and told her, I can hear you every morning. So even if we think Gurudev does not know, he knows everything in and out. Even if we are 100 miles away, 1,000 miles away, and whatever we are doing, he knows what we are doing. And if you're doing any seva, we don't have to show it to him. He knows that already, that what we are doing, how we are doing. So you said Gurudev sees what we really are. Even we do not know ourselves as much as Gurudev knows us. And what a question you asked to Maharaji. What is the plan for this soul? And that is a really good question to ask. What you have for me? And Maharaji gave you answer. I want you to become pure devotee. and be my representative. Yes, he expects this from all of his disciples. He wants all of us to become pure devotees, and we should give our best. And like Maharaji was saying, Gurudeva has given us everything. He has given us all the mercy. He has given us everything in his book. I remember in his days, 2010 in Delhi Mutt, when he was doing a sickness pastime, somebody came and asked, Gurudev, what is like this? He asked some questions, and Maharaj said, I have given you everything. Read my books. Go read my books. So he has given us everything. Only it's now our duty to do our part where we are lacking. The moment we do our part, it will match, and then we will get the result. And then how nicely you described that how he was neglecting you. That was a little bit funny also. That he was comparing with Janardhan, even though he was a little dark, and he was neglecting you. So the line you said was very nice. Pure Guru is beating your false ego in his own way. So Gurudev had this typical style. He will not do it directly, but he will do it in very stylish and very subtle way, that you will get the message also, and it is very soft way. So he would do it in a very subtle way. So he did it 2 years, 2003 and 4 with you. So yeah, that's sometimes he will neglect you. And anywhere, like in a meeting also, in a sabha where he's giving a lecture, he will not look at you, he'll look somewhere else. And when you go near him, he'll start looking there. So he will play like this Viraya and Milan Leela with all the devotees. So what you said is he was teaching us love. Eventually he was teaching us prem. Yeah. And then you also described how we all felt at home when we were next to him. Love and affection. And everything was so spontaneous. Yes, this is very, anybody who has met him, he has felt. It's very spontaneity, like he would just come out at 4:30 and sit. And then the thing will start on its own. Some people will come and ask questions, somebody will give a garland, somebody will do this, and then it will be a very loving sort of environment. Even in Mathura like this, will come, there was a chair always outside his room, and he would every day evening come and sit there, and then slowly people gather, and 5, 10, 15, 20, eventually it will be 50 people around him, and the sabha will start. Yes. And Gurudev was very regulated. Yes, totally. He was very regulated in everything. Time of sleeping, time of waking up, time of eating, walking, where he will sit, where he will tell Harikatha, where he will exercise. Everything was so regulated everywhere. Like when we used to go for morning walks in Mathura, in Dampier Park, he will sit at the particular bench every day. He will exercise a little bit. And in Govardhan, I remember he will walk and then go right inside, and then stay there for a while, talk to people, and then come back again. Like every day, same way he'll do. So he was very, very regulated, yes. And then you talked about Swapna Darshan, but you almost hidden everything. You kept to yourself. So that's your personal experience. It's okay. Hopefully, we also have this Swapna Darshan sometime. I don't know if we are not qualified right now, but maybe one day we will see him, as you said, in Brahma Muhurat, and maybe he will give us some instruction or something to us. He will talk to us. Maybe we have full hope. But it's nice to know that you are doing those Swapna Darshan and you are experiencing the nectar. So hopefully we also get to that stage one day. And then you described never say thank you to Gurudev. What we can thank, we can never thank him enough. We can only be grateful. We cannot repay him. He used to say himself, we cannot repay a Guru ever. We can always be under his feet, and we can become kinkar. You describe very nice kinkar. I did not know this meaning, what you described just now. Kim karo. What should I do? What should I do? Kinkar. How can I serve you? How can I serve you? So this is what we should be to Gurudev all the time. Kimkar. What shall I do? What shall I do for you? How can I serve you? Even now we should ask this question to ourselves, all of us who are listening. What shall I do? What shall I do for Gurudev? How can I serve him? How can I serve him? So when we ask this question, he will give us some light and he will tell us how can we serve him. Maybe he'll show us some way. So Maharaji, thank you so much for reminding us of our Srila Gurudev, such sweet memories, and how he loved you, how he played with you, how he chastised you, how he gave you sannyas, and how he treated you so specially at times, and how he marked you for sannyas. So beautifully described. That was our lovely Gurudev. Thank you so much for being with us, Maharaji. Dandavat Maharaji, Dandavat. And I thank all of you listeners also to be present here. Thank you so much for being there. Now, Saturday and Sunday, there won't be any program as usual. But Sunday, we have a special day, Bhakti Kumud Sant Goswami Maharaj Avirbhav Tithi. And on Monday, we have another Tithi, Abhiram Thakur Tirobhav. So these two Tithis will celebrate on 3rd Monday. And our Sri Krishna Das Prabhu will be with us at 8 o'clock to talk about these two Tithis. So we'll follow these two Tithis on Monday. We'll not do this Gurudev program, but we'll follow the Tithis. So I hope to see you everyone on 3rd at 8 o'clock, same time. And thank you all so much. Srila Gurudev Maharaj ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrand ki jai, Gaur Bhakt Vrand ki jai, Pujapad Bhaktivedanta Sadhu Maharaj ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Dandavat.